Hi, this is Michelle back again with part 2 of my JW Shunning. Thank you for listening. Another younger sister graduated and moved to Toronto with my sister and I. We were all active JWs, but with a twist. We started experimenting with booze, bars, and boys, and before long had lost interest in going to the meetings. The JWs would continually call or come by to see if we needed a ride to the Kingdom Hall. I was enjoying my newfound freedom but learning many bad habits. I believe the term is rebelling. We three then moved to Calgary. We looked up at Kingdom Hall and attended a few meetings, but it was not what we wanted. We eventually phased out the organization completely, but never confronted the organization about leaving. This decoding of my brain took 4 years. One sister moved back east and one sister got married in Alberta. After some years, I moved back east as well. By this time, I had taken up smoking. During a visit to my hometown, a fellow JW noticed me having a cigarette and snitched to an elder. I received a telephone call requesting a meeting. After I hung up, the flashbacks of my previous disfellowshipping appeared, and before I knew it, I had my letter written to them requesting them to disassociate me from their association. So once again, my name was broadcast to the congregation and instructed to avoid and shun. I endeavored to make a life in the East, but yearned to be far, far away from all the JWs who shunned me. I returned to the West Coast. I lived there for many years with bad habits and low self-esteem. In 2010, I returned to the East Coast to live and be near my family. I was well aware I would be confronted with shunning once again. My JW husband had an operation. This one particular time that I was in the hospital room helping him and my mother pass the time away, another visitor came for a visit, a JW, in fact, a cousin of mine. Instantly, I could feel the white elephant in the room. Everyone tensed up, squirmed in their positions, and proceeded to enjoy each other's company for almost an hour without acknowledging my presence, not even for a nanosecond. I continued with my crossword puzzle in the corner. After his departure, I shrugged, muttered something, and proceeded with taking my mom back to my apartment. That night I laid awake all night as if something was awakening inside me. The next morning my mom asked, "Is there something wrong?" Well, I never knew I could cry like that before. I began to tell her how hurtful being shunned by them was. She couldn't understand what I meant. She offered me a passage from one of her booklets to read. I simply shook my head no. Then she said perhaps I should go see a doctor. Maybe they could help. For the duration of her husband's stay in the hospital, I couldn't enter the premises. My volcano of pain was erupting, and I couldn't stop it. I broke down to my sister, then broke down to my brother, then broke down to my father, all on separate occasions. I then sought the assistance from my employer's employee assistance program. I opened the communication with, "I want someone to give me permission to shun my mother. I hate this pain. My tears won't stop. Any advice would be appreciated." Their response was, "Michelle, the only person that can give you permission to do this is you." They suggested a book, Codependent No More, to which I read immediately. I then made an appointment with my family doctor. There again, the water tap of tears came rushing back. She referred me to a psychologist. There again the heavens of tears came back. She confirmed I was not suicidal, just broken. She referred me to a community program counselor. Many more tears flowed out of the volcano. I had no idea I had buried so much pain. I could, however, feel the relief it was giving me. My bad habits started to subside and my self-esteem was improving. I wrote letters to my mother and sister letting them know that I no longer wanted any communication whatsoever from them. I was feeling good about myself, liberated, so to speak. Then, just when everything was going along fine in my soul, my brother's wife suddenly passes away, leaving behind 2 young, sweet children, my niece now 11 and my nephew now 13. The JWs came out of the woodwork, displaying their phony, one-sided affection. They were hungry to sink their beliefs into these 2 children and to re-brainwash my younger brother. For the sake of the children, I put aside my feelings towards the organization and accepted shunning once again. The shunning did not come directly from my mother and sister, but from aunts and cousins. The only reason my mother and sister does not openly shun me is because I am immediate family. However, if I were their niece or cousin, they would shun me. More devout JWs do shun their sons and daughters. The fact is that my mother and sister shun other people that are disfellowshipped. Therefore, they do shun. I cannot accept to be near anyone who shuns another human being. It is abusive and hurtful. I truly understand why some people that do not have any non-JW family commit suicide. My non-JW family and my dear friends are what brought me back from my brink of destruction. For this I am forever indebted. I will continue to display my happiness and love to my niece and nephew, not only because I love them, but because of how strongly I feel that the JW organization is a complete farce. Life is about human beings, not this intangible thing people call religion. End of part 2. Thank you for listening.